Oh, yeah, yeah. So Fridays we do guitar. Exactly.
I just want to point out, there's a couple here who's shoe shopping, who's been to several other synagogues, and this is their first time here. If you look straight back in the center aisle and then to the right, a woman with her hands on her belly,
Yeah, I see her.
she's pregnant.
Oh, wow.
That couple, she's Tabitha, and I don't remember his name.
I'm going to introduce you to some other people.
Sure.
But, all right, we'll be starting in just 2 more minutes. A little late today. All right, friends, Shabbat Shalom. We're going to go ahead and get started. A couple minutes late. Sorry, Mom. Hope you haven't been waiting too long. Thank you so much for being here. This is part of our adult dinner series. And that happens after, of course, not during services. And we're going to start on page 1, the additional soul for Shabbat. Yedid nefesh avarachaman, Yedid nefesh avarachaman, Mishoch avdecha, El ritzonecha, Mishoch avdecha, Ya la 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 la, El ritzonecha. Yarutz avdecha kemo hayam Yishtachavei lai ya la 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 el muhadarecha. All right, let's go to page 6. Let the heavens rejoice and the earth be glad. Yismechu hashamayim, middle of the page, page 6. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tageh haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umelo, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umelo. All right, we're going to go to page, all the way to page 12 now, Romamu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu Vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. All right, page 13, Mizmor LeDavid. Mizmor LeDavid, Avol Adonai Bnei, Avol Adonai Kavod Vaos. Ay, Avul Adonai, Kevod Shemo Yishtachavu Adonai Behadrat Kodesh, Ko Adonai Al Hamayim El HaKavod Yirim. Adonai Hamayim Rabim, Ko Adonai Bakoach. Ay, Ko Adonai, Ve'ehadar, Ko Adonai, Shover Arazim, Vashaver Adonai, En Arzei Halvanon, Vayarkirem, Kemo Eger, Lebanon, Lesirion, Kemo Venrehemim. Ay, Ko Adonai, Kotzev Lavo Esh, Ko Adonai, Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai, בקרש כה אדוני יכול אל איילות ויחסו יערות ובחלות כולו אומר גלות איי 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 אדוני למה בו ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום היי איי איי ניי 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 איי ניי 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 איי ניי 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 איי ניי 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 All right, page 15, the Chad Dodi. We'll be doing it to two different tunes. We do the first two stanzas to one tune and then the last two stanzas to the other, and we will skip what's in between. Lecha Dodi nikrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi nikrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el am yuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litchila. Lecha Dodi nikrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi nikrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi mekor habracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sov ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha Dodi nikrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi nikrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Bottom of 17. Yaminu small tifrotzi ve'et Adonai taritzi al yarish ben partzi v'nismecha v'nagila la 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 Lecha Dodi nikrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi nikrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. We rise and face the entrance, welcoming the Shabbat bride. Bo'י v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula. Bo'י kala, Lecha Dodi Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi nikrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. And we say to any mourners in our midst, may God comfort you with all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. We may be seated, page 19. Mizmor shir leyom ha-Shabbat, tov lehodot le'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon, lezamer l'shimcha elyon, le'hagid b'boker chasdecha, ve'emunatcha b'lelot, alei asor ve'alei navel, alei higayon ve'hinor. לשיר שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, לזמר לשמך עליון. Continue silently, pages 19 and 20. So we're going to do Tzaddik Katamar, but I'm going to use the dance melody. You don't have to get up and dance. I mean, you could if you want to. But in 2 weeks, when we have the next dinner, but it's a rock and roll Shabbat, and it's definitely more family oriented, but all ages are welcome. We're going to do this one. So get us in the mood for 2 weeks from now. And Karen may be doing some dancing. Anyone want to join her? It's well. Phil, we got 2 dance leaders here, so they're going. All right, come on. Yeah, might as well. Let's do it. Why not? I just follow them. We're not going to teach it tonight. Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Yifrach, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Yifrach, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach. Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke. Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke. Again, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Yifrach, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Yifrach, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach. Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke. Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke. Again, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Yifrach, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach, Yifrach, Tzaddik Katamar Yifrach. Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke. Oh, Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke, Ka'erez balvanon yizke. All right, Yasher Koach to our dancers. All right, we continue on page 21. Adonai malach yot lavesh, lavesh Adonai zita zar, aftikon tevel ba'al timot, nachon kisachav me'ez ma'amata, nasu nerot Adonai, nasu nerot kolam, yisu nerot dohyam. Mikol od mayim, mayim rabim adirim, mishperei aham, adir bamarom, Adonai. Eidotecha ne'emanu me'od, Ve'techa nava kodesh Adonai le'orech yamim. Please rise briefly for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Hu Barach le'olam va'ed. May be seated. Baruch atah Adonai l'mecholam asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim. Boreim v'layla golel mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or. V'yom v'layla mavdi ben yom v'layla Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai amari v'aravim. 24. Ahavat olam be'Yisrael amcha v'ta amcha v'ta Torah u'mitzvot ukim u'mishpatim otanu lima'adita otanu lima'adita Eloheinu b'shochbeinu kumeinu nesiach b'chukecha v'nismak b'divrei Toratecha u'mitzvotecha le'olam voed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla ve'avatecha al tasir imenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 25. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha Hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha Hayom al levavecha V'shinantam levanecha V'dibarta baham V'shivtecha b'veitecha Uvlechtecha v'derech V'shochbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leod al yadecha V'hayu letotafot bein einecha Uchtavtam Uvisharecha bayam. Continue on our own, 27 through 29. L'man tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem emet Adonai Elohechem emet. Top of 32. Malchut Tov Ratzon Kuvilehem Moshe ben Israel Chanu Shirah B'Simcha Rabah V'Amru Chulam Mihi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai Mihi Kamocha Nedar B'Kodesh Norah Tehilot Osef Eleh Norah Tehilot Osef Eleh Malchutecha Ra'um Enecha Hokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe Ze'eli Anu Ve'amru Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha netar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot oseh felech. Nora tehilot oseh felech. Nora tehilot oseh felech. Page 33. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzeiteinu L'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. All right, let's start on this side of the room. Hashkivenu Adonai. This side. Hashkivenu Adonai. Frosalenu Sukkot Shlomecha, Baruch Ata Adonai, Haparei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, V'Kol Amo Yisrael, V'Al Yerushalayim. Please rise for the Shamru, page 34. Shamru B'nei Yisrael, Et HaShabbat, So Et HaShabbat, Ledorotam Berit Olam, B'nei V'nei Yisrael, Oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-shabbat la'asot et ha-shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabbat la'asot et hashabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-shabbat la'asot et ha-shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Chatzi Kaddish, page 35. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah Shema divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayeh Uv'chayeh dechol beit Yisrael Ba'agala Uv'izman kariv imeru Ye'esh me'rabbah mevorach Le'olam me'omaya Yid Yibarach v'ishtabach v'pari umam v'naseh v'tadar v'taleh v'talal shmei kutsha ולעמים כל ברכתה ושירתה תושווה. Bimeru. Private Amidah, pages 37 through 48. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki atahu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom, Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom, Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom, Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Nasim Leolam. Kaddish Shalem, we're going to jump to today on page 53. Yikra v'yikra Shemei Rabbah, Yamad yivrach yirutei v'amlich malchutei b'chayachon ev yomechon, chedechol Beit Yisrael, Bagalav Izman Kari ve'immeru, Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach, Leolam le'omei omaya yi. Yibarach v'ishtabach, v'yipar v'ram v'yanaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei Kudsha. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata berchata v'nechamata damiram yama v'imeru. Tikabat sloton voton l'chol Yisrael kodam avondon divishmaya v'imeru. Eshlam rab min shamaya v'chaim eleni v'yakol Yisrael v'imeru. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom eleni v'yakol Yisrael v'yakol yoshvei tevel v'imeru. All right, if you're not a Friday night regular, this is the historical moment, no traditional drash, and we are going through some of the minutes of the congregation, and I've taken highlights from each year. We're going to do 1960 tonight. So, first of all, it says that there were over 100 new families that joined. I don't know if that's net or gross. I assume it's net. But between 1951 and 1959, but the same number of students, which is 350, which is an enormous amount, and way more than we have now, and the congregation's about the same size. So they were very young in 1960 as a congregation, but Sinai had the same membership and way more kids. So they were even younger at the time. But so you're getting a sense of what the demographics were like in Oakland in 1960. Very interesting to me. There's something called the Synagogue Council, which is, all the synagogues had all the synagogues in the East Bay would meet and go over things. And they have come out with a statement advising all congregations that no gambling should be allowed. So now, it's not like, I mean, I'm kidding completely, but I encourage a certain amount of gambling when I say the over-under on the service ending is 11:55 today or something on Saturday mornings. But they don't mean that kind of gambling. So, poker nights, like that. Yeah, exactly. Poker nights, men's club. But I have a feeling the big thing then was probably bingo, because a lot of synagogues used bingo as a fundraiser. All right. The windows in the sanctuary, the price was given as they were going to do that, and I'll mention this in a second, but it says $980. That's got to be per window, though, right? Like even in 1960, there's no way that all this brass work could have been done for even then. We dedicated new windows in the chapel a few weeks ago, but we didn't have a plaque mentioning the foundation and the honor of who it's done. So in between services and dinner, those who wish are going to go to the chapel, are going to unveil that plaque. Okay, so anyway, yeah, that's happening tonight. All right. Now, $980, however, the Sisterhood Rummage Sale that year raised $900, so they could pay for almost one window. Pretty impressive. All right. They sold a house on Jane Street, which was, I assume, the rabbi's house. They bought a different house for him, and they brought a new home for him the year before for $28,500, and they sold the Jane house for $19,250. So that was a tough one, but they should have kept them all. They hired a new education director named Ehud Gilad. I assume he was Israeli, $8,000. They also hired a janitorial couple. So it was a husband and wife, and they lived in what is now Susan's office. All right. They sponsored a play with the Modern Hebrew Day School. There was a Hebrew Day School that met here a day at the synagogue, and they sponsored a play together about Esther, Queen Esther. And where'd they hold it? At the Paramount. Like that's a serious play. Okay. A Chevra Kadisha Society was proposed. For those who don't know what that is, that's a group that takes care of the dead, watches the bodies. And from time to time, we get requests for that too, which I never encourage because, like, it's not to be toyed with. You have to come in the middle of the night, immediately. And so I encourage everyone to sign up with Sinai Memorial, the funeral home, to be a part of a larger Chevra Kadisha, which we have. But anyway, it was tabled, didn't pass. Here's the one you're not going to like. There was a new request for a Saturday morning bat mitzvah, because we were having bat mitzvahs. They were on Friday night or Saturday afternoon or who knows what. As if you've been through this for the last few years with me, there's a sub-history of bat mitzvahs, and everyone thinks they were the first one. And anyway, the Jonas family is a very powerful family here, a very loyal family, and it was tabled, sent to the ritual committee, who defeated the motion. Yep. But they said they could present it to the board or petition to the congregation. So it eventually happened, but not yet in 1960. We're not in the 60s yet in 1960. All right, we're still in the 50s. It's coming soon. It is coming soon. Now, so that's what the board recorded. I wonder if you were asked the rabbi what he did that year, it would be kind of be similar to like what I did this week. So just to share that for a moment. So, a lot of my last couple of days have been consumed with planning the funeral for one of our members, Marvin Shotland, who died. And you might not know him, but you might know his kids better. His son Daniel. Unfortunately, his daughter Aviva died just a few years ago, like within months after he had lost his father, Marvin. Marvin was 78 and died from complications from Parkinson's. Great Jew. Like, he was the head of the LA Jewish Federation Foundation for many years. Before that, he did the same job in Tucson, Arizona. He was recruited from Tucson to go to Los Angeles. And that was very sad. At the same time, personally, today, I went to San Mateo. My mom's fine, but I went to 2 memorial services, so these are not part of the congregation. But one was a friend's dad. He was 95, he lived a great life. There were it was a middle school friend. There were 3 of us from the middle school who were there. Everyone puts out announcements like, this is when it's happening. Nobody goes for a couple reasons. One, it's not the same. If you're not Jewish, you kind of don't feel the same obligation to a certain extent to show up for funerals. But I've noticed in the younger generation that we have that same issue. Like, if you know the person at all, and I don't mean the deceased, if you know the mourner at all, you should go. If you can go, you should go. It's really, it's very, they may not even know you're there, but just to have people there, there's a sense of comfort, even for a 95-year-old who lived a tremendous life. And so, and I'm kind of a professional mourner, so I'm very comfortable going to those spaces. So I went. That one was wonderful because, it was very emotional for the family, and I didn't know him at all. I didn't know her father at all. But then the other one was much sadder. This was another high school classmate of mine passed away in the last 2 weeks. Not my very good friend, Gary Ogami, who passed away a few months ago. I went to the funeral in Arizona. This is someone I knew a little more tangentially. And his name is Chris Weidman, and it was a celebration of life. I'm giving you kind of too much information here, but it's interesting. So first of all, he's not Jewish. He chose cremation, but he died 2 weeks ago. But it's going to be months before they can do that. Apparently, the Neptune Society has this waiting list. So just when you think when you consider some stuff, and then when you consider what you're doing, and of course it's against Jewish law, but cremation is not the simple process you think it is. It is really not at all, and there are lots of problems with it, that being one of them. And one of Chris's wishes was that he not be put in a freezer, and he's going to be in the freezer basically in a morgue for months. It's really, really kind of sad. He takes up a lot of freezer space. He's a huge guy. Sadly, he was in poor health, and so it wasn't as big a surprise as Gary, but a huge personality too. Just a wonderful guy. And he had his this celebration of life at Rainbow Pizza. And someone's calling me about something serious, and I say, "I'm sorry, I'm at a memorial service." And in the background, there's all this conversation. It was kind of this surreal moment. But Chris was just a great guy. He ended up he ended up doing doing technical stuff at Skyline Community College. He was a photographer in high school, and I was the news editor of the newspaper, and he was one of the photographers. And remember there was a lot of construction, was going on, delayed for years by 92 and 101. I didn't understand that was normal at the time, so I said, I want you to get a picture of the construction. And somehow he talked his way into going to the roof of some brand new building, and he was up there, and he got this incredible aerial shot. And then we hired him. My mom remembered today that we hired him to photograph their 25th anniversary party. So very, very cool. And so anyway, Chris's memory is completely a blessing to me. So, but all that's what the rabbi might have been doing. But he would have been okay with doing it because, first of all, it's his job. And second of all, he might have been coming off the high of Sunday where he married the girl who started the BBG chapter, BBYO chapter with him here. That's me. That's Debbie Margolin. And me and Howard and Stacy and some other members of the congregation were there. And, this is like the reward for being a rabbi, for getting to be a part of these people's lives. Just phenomenal. And such joy carried me through the entire week. So if you ask the rabbi, that wouldn't have been recorded in the minutes, but that may be something. I imagine the Rabbi Shulweiss was doing something like that. But he was also probably doing lots of stuff that this rabbi doesn't do, and various social justice causes and protests and the like. But anyway, that's what we have. So that's this week, or this year, 1960. And next year we'll do 61. So, all right, Baruch T.A. All right, we're going to rise now for the Kiddush, page 55. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam asher kitshenu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'avav ratzon hichilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrayei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'charta v'otanu kidashta Mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. L'chaim to life. If you are near your children or anyone else you wish to bless, we say, Simcha Elohim Kefrai V'Chim Menashe, Simcha Elohim Kesara, Rivka Rachel V'Leah, Yivarech Adonai V'Yishmerecha, Yer Adonai Panav Elecha V'Yichuneka, Yisad Adonai Panav Elecha V'Yasem Lecha Shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May God lift the divine face toward you and grant you peace. Amen. Remain standing for the Aleinu, page 57. And Aleinu l'shabea, l'adon ha'kol, l'tein gedula, l'yotzer b'reshit. Shelo asanu kigoye haratzot velo samanu kemishmachot ha'adama Shelo sam chelkenu kahem vegoralenu kechol amonam v'anachnu korim kavim umonim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu Shehu note shamayim ve'yoset haaretz u'moshev yikaro b'shamayim mima'al u'shchinatu zo v'gol v'miromim hu Eloheinu eino emet malkeinu efes ulato kakatu b'torato v'yadata ayom v'hashevota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim Bashamayim Mima'al V'Ha'aretz V'Ha'aretz Mitachat Einot. Kakatu b'Torah techanaim loch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar v'chaya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz bayom ha'hu Yeh Adonai echad u'shamo We may be seated as we lovingly recall the memory of our departed relatives and friends as your sites we observed during the coming week. It's a very long list. Thinking tonight of Beth Belzer, Jack Berger, Sheldon Barrow, Azari Blumenkrantz, Mark Brasham, Simon Cohen, who I think is probably Cantor Simon Cohen, Shlomo Contract, Ida Cowan, Albert Ice, Minna Epstein, Edward Flick, Bertha Frankel, Frank Glasser, Joseph Gold, May Golding, Gussie Gross, Evelyn Harris, Rhonda Murray Hertz, Carl Hirsch, Ignatz Jacobs, Louis Judson, Lawrence Kaufman, Caroline Kaufman, Francis King, Jewel Koletsky, Abraham Kreimerman, Edith Kurtz, Isidore Lazar, Arthur Levine, Ethel Lewick, Debbie Nesbitt, Michael Nesbitt, Charlotte Oppenheimer, Denny Pulse, Leonard Quitman, past president, who the endowment fund is named after, which he began, Charlotte Resnick, Tom Rose, Sarah Rosenthal, Isidore Rubin, Susan Stein Schreiberg, Moshe Schwecke, Morris Silver, Shirley Spillman, Joel Irving Stein, Marion Stolusky, Maurice Stone, Samuel Toes, Leslie Turchin, Esther Wallace, Anna Weintraub, Edith Wargold, Gertrude Zakin, Vladimir Zubarev. We're in the Shloshim, the 30-day mourning period for Welch Warren, Professor Barry Barnes Sr., friend of TBA, Paul Hardstone. We are still in the Shiva for Terry Schaefer, the brother of Helene Moore, and our thoughts are very much with Helene. And we are not yet in the Shiva, as the funeral will be Monday, for Marvin Shotland. And there's like 12 funerals, so they had to space them out over a few days. That's the reason this one is so late. They're dealing with 12 or even more at this moment. The memories of all of them are with us. We ask all those who are in mourning or observing Yortzeit, as well as anyone else who would choose to do so, to rise for the Mourner's Kaddish, page 61. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. V'yalmad yivrach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayekon v'yomekon v'chayekon b'nei Yisrael v'agala v'zman kari v'yivru. Yehi Shemei Rabbah v'orach v'yolam v'ne'el maya v'yikbarach v'yishtabach v'yipapar v'yitlamam v'yinaseh v'yitakar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei Kudshah v'yitu le'elah v'yinkol berchata v'shirata Tushtakata v'nechamata Damiran v'yalma v'yivru. Amen. Yehi Shlom Rabbah v'yishmaya v'chayim aleinu v'yarko Yisrael v'yivru. Amen. Usei Shalom v'yivram Uyakse Shalom aleinu v'yarko Yisrael v'yivru. Amen. Zechronam Livracha. In the memory of the people who come to say Kaddish, will be a blessing to you always. Let us say Amen. Got to everyone. There were quite a few tonight. All right, some announcements. All right, so there's 3 different options right now. Once we do the closing song, one is you can go to the chapel with me and unveil the plaque. The second is you can, if you signed up for the dinner, you can go into the dinner and Raina will be there at the table giving you a name tag. The third is you didn't sign up for the dinner and you still want challah, you can wait in the foyer and we'll do that after I do the plaque, unless there's somebody who, you're going to the dinner tonight, right? Or no? No, I can do it. So you can, if you're not going to the dinner and you gotta leave but you want some challah, Susan will lead Motzi in the foyer downstairs, okay? So those are your three options. All right. Tomorrow, We have a very interesting speaker, Samir Kalraf of the Hindu American Foundation. He's going to be telling some stories, perhaps his own family history, of Holocaust-like stories that happened to Hindus in Kashmir. And it's, I've heard him do it, and it's, I was very moved by it and felt like that we should ask him to come here and listen to their stories. So that's happening tomorrow during services. We have some other things happening. The Sunday, the normal things, except that we start Intro to Judaism at 7:30. We start our teen classes as well, Tichon. Although it says 6:30, it's wrong. It's at 6. Didn't notice that. And it says confirmation class at 5. That's also wrong. It's also at 6. Okay, well, probably those people they got our emails, and hopefully they're, anyway. Okay, we have Men's Club Poker on January 15th. Gambling allowed. It's for fundraising. Sorry, 1960 Synagogue Council. The book club on Tuesday, January 13th, Hotel Cuba. Contact Judy Glick for a link. She's here, I think. I saw Judy right there. And then in 2 weeks, Sunday. Before that, we've got Saturday, January 17th. We've got Adam Brown becoming bar mitzvah. On Sunday, January 18th, we have Men's Club Preps and Surf City team. And on Friday, January 23rd, Rock and Roll Shabbat at 6:15 here in the sanctuary. It's a zoo, but it's really fun. So I think there's a couple of guests tonight. I think everybody else I know and is a member or frequent guest. So it's Tabitha and Stephen. Is that right? Okay, so over there. And welcome. They're visiting from Berkeley, but they may be shul shopping. Be super friendly to them. Especially that group over there. It's kind of your age, except that you're probably graduating soon to this group. Anyway. Oh, then we got someone else waiting. All right, okay, excellent. Who else do we have? Michael and Miriam.
We're visiting Washington, D.C. and Israel.
Excellent, welcome, great to have you. Thank you. And have you been here before? No. All right, awesome. So great to have you here. Thanks for being here. We were there last week, but closer to us was Chabad on Friday night. We were like in the by the ballpark. And then so we otherwise Alice, I've never had the pleasure of going to, but anyway, so great to have you here. Thank you for being here. Anyone else? Thank you for pointing out it's a little late here. All right. Nobody significant in the musical world died this week. So the closing song is actually Adon Olam on page 200. And I didn't check it with Eli, that's true, but he usually tells me if not. And then I go on, I hope I die before I get old.com to find out who in the music world has died. That is true. All right, so we're going to do, Adon Olam 269, but not the whole thing. We're going to do the Boaz Heatman version, which is a lot of fun. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shimon Yikra V'yacharei kiknot hakol levado yimloch nora v'hu haya v'hu hoveh v'hu yiyeh b'tifara Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'Terem Ko Yitzir Nivra Yekna Saba Chetzako Azayim Alech Shemoni Krave Yachareki Klotako Livado Yimlok Nara Hu Hayava Hu Hove Hu Yeyeva Tifara Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'Terem Ko Yitzir Nivra Yekna Saba Chetzako Azayim Alech Shemoni Krave Yachareki Klotako Livado Yimlok Nara Hu Hayava Hu Hove Tifara Hu Hayava Hu Hove Tifara Adon Olam Asher Nalach B'Terem Ko Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'Chefzo Ko Azay Melech Shemoni Hashem Allah, Terem Ko Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'Chefzo Ko Azay Melech Shemoni Krave Yachareki Klotako Livado Yimlok Nara Hu Hayava Hu Hove Yeva Tifara Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'Terem Ko Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'Chefzo Ko Azay Melech Shemoni Krave Yachareki Klotako Livado Yimlok Nara Hu Hayava Hu Hove Tifara Hu Hayava Hu Hove Tifara Hu Hayava Hu Hove B'Tifara Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'Terem Ko Yitzir Nivra Li'et Nasa B'Chefzo Ko Tifara Shabbat Shalom.